Most people believe their reality is shaped by their actions, their habits, or the things they consciously choose to do. But the truth is deeper, quieter, and far more powerful. Your reality begins long before any action. It begins with the identity you live from. Most of the time without even realizing it. Identity is not the story you tell others. It is the silent baseline your brain uses to predict who you are and what should happen next. Every morning, before you're even fully awake, your brain loads an internal model of you. This model is built from memories, emotions, experiences, beliefs, and patterns. And then your brain filters the entire world through that model. We think we see reality as it is. But we don't. We see reality as we are. Neuroscience shows that over 90% of all incoming information is deleted before it reaches your conscious awareness. Your brain keeps only the pieces that match your current identity, because that feels familiar. Familiar means safe. And safe keeps you alive. If your identity says you are someone who always struggles, your brain will highlight every setback. If your identity says you're not good with money, your brain will ignore opportunities and amplify fear. If your identity says you're someone who never finishes things, your brain will prioritize fatigue and distraction and downplay progress. Not because any of this is true, but because your brain wants your identity to stay consistent. Consistency feels like survival. Change feels like danger, even when you consciously crave the change. Most people live inside this loop without ever noticing it. They push harder. They try new strategies. They chase motivation. They force discipline. But their identity silently pulls them back to who they believe they are, not who they want to be. Here is the part most people never hear. Your brain does not respond to reality. It predicts it. Every second your brain asks one question: who am I, and what usually happens next? And then it produces thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that match that expectation. You rarely react to the present moment. You react to a prediction created by your identity. If your identity says you're someone who is stuck, you will filter life in a way that confirms it. Not because you are stuck, but because your brain keeps choosing the same path. It is easier to repeat the past than it is to create the future. Now let's zoom out. Quantum physics shows us that reality exists as a field of possibilities until consciousness interacts with it. The observer effect is not magic. It simply means that what you focus on becomes more real, and what you ignore becomes invisible. Your attention collapses possibility into actuality. Your identity is what guides your attention. So identity quietly selects the version of reality you get to experience. When people say your thoughts create your reality, this is what they mean, even if they don't explain it correctly. It's not about forcing positive thoughts. It's about shifting the identity that generates those thoughts in the first place. Identity sets the frequency. Attention tunes the signal. Reality responds. You may have experienced this before. Think of a period in your life when you felt confident, grounded, or certain. During those moments, opportunities appeared more easily. You noticed solutions instead of problems. You took action without hesitation. Not because the external world was different, but because your identity at that moment supported the version of reality you wanted. And think of the opposite situation. Times when you doubted yourself. When you felt not enough. When you believed things don't work out for you. In those moments, it wasn't the world that changed. It was your identity. And your brain filtered reality through that state, making everything feel heavier and more complicated. Identity is the silent architect of your life. Behavior is the last step in the chain. Identity creates thoughts. Thoughts create emotion. Emotion drives action. Action leads to results. And your results reinforce the identity you started from. The loop continues. If you try to change your life by only changing your actions, it is like trying to change a tree by painting the leaves. You might see temporary improvement, but the roots stay the same. And as long as the roots stay the same, the tree grows the same way. So how do you shift your identity? It happens in 3 stages. First, awareness. You must see the identity you've been living from. Not the one you tell people. The one that shows up when no one is watching. The one that whispers your limitations. The one that tells you who you think you are. Maybe you identify as someone who is always overwhelmed. Or someone who struggles with money. Or someone who is inconsistent. Or someone who never feels ready. These identities are not truths. They are learned patterns. Second, vision. You define the identity that matches the reality you want. The version of you who already lives the life you are trying to create. Instead of thinking in goals, think in identity. Who would you be if the change had already happened? How would you think? What would you believe? What would you notice? What would feel normal for you? Third, embodiment. You act in alignment with this new identity before you believe it. Before you feel ready. Before it feels natural. Identity shifts through action. Every time your behavior contradicts the old story, your brain rewires. Every time you choose the new identity, even in the smallest way, your reality begins to shift. Your brain starts updating its prediction model. And slowly, the new identity becomes the default. This is not instant. It is not dramatic. It is gradual and internal. But it is powerful. Identity change doesn't feel like forcing. It feels like remembering who you were meant to be. Your old identity is not a prison. It is a pattern. And patterns can be changed. Your reality begins with the identity you choose to embody. When your identity shifts, your thoughts shift. Your emotions shift. Your actions shift. And your results naturally follow. There is nothing you need to become. You are choosing the version of you that already exists within the field of possibilities. The moment you step into it, your reality begins to adjust. Your identity is not fixed. It is flexible. Teach your brain something new, and your reality will reflect it. If you want more videos like this, exploring the deep connection between the brain, identity, consciousness, and the nature of reality, subscribe to the channel. Your new reality begins with the identity you choose today.